Valentina Pakyntein from the Khasi in northwest India. She does research on her own indigenous matriarchal society, especially on the Jaintia, where she originated from. And her title of her speech is Khasi Matriarchal Social Structure, Tradition and Incessancy. We welcome Valentina.
Can I close this? Oh, yes. I hope I can try to see what. I think then maybe you just
continue now.
It's not crossing, you know.
Now
It's okay. It's okay. I just speak like that, you know.
Continue.
Yeah.
We can also turn it off. Here,
Yeah.
just turn this off.
Oh, I have not closed the thing.
Do you want to use it?
I'm going to talk about Khasi matrilineality, the tradition and the continuity of the tradition.
We need to
Oh, you
use
cannot
these
hear me?
both mics.
Okay. I'm going to talk on the Khasi matrilineality, tradition, and the continuity of the tradition. So for this presentation, I'll split it into 4 parts. First part is just an introduction about the term matrilineality, matriarchy, etc., which I will skip because most of us we are aware about that. The second part, I'll talk about the tradition of the Khasi. The third part will be about the change that has, crept into the society, and the last part will be the Khasi society as of now, and what are the emerging issues in the society at present. So these are the 4 points. I hope I'll be able to do it. The Khasis, please don't mind Haiti, are located in the northeastern part of India. Northeastern part of India. And they are one of the many matriarchal societies in the world. In fact, one of the anthropologists in quite some time back, he listed about 537 matrilineal societies around the world. And Khasis is one of those matrilineal societies that still practice their matrilineality till date. So we know that, it is anthropologists only who have coined the term, who have used the term matriarchy, and they have developed theories relating to matriarchy, stating that matriarchal societies are societies with lower level of economy. The more you progress, then you'll go towards patriarchy. Okay, that is what they but this theory, of course, even within anthropology also, this theory was rejected. And with the feminist movement, they are trying to redefine, and very good that now, especially with the modern matriarchal studies of Haiti, we are still trying to redefine what is matriarchy. But what I felt, that because being an anthropologist, I felt that we should be very clear about the terms. If you're trying to understand this whole concept of matriarchy, there are 2 terms which I'm always, it annoyed me. Every time I type out something, I do my work, they'll say that this term is not there in the computer, something like that. These 2 terms are what, if you look into any dictionary, patronymic, which means you take the name from the father, and parsimony. It is very much there in the dictionary. But if you write matronymic and, parsimony, these are not there. But I insist to, I keep on, doing that because this is exactly what we take the name, because I'm a Khasi myself, we take the name from the mother. So we write, it is a matronymic system, I call it. So we should be concerned with all these. Now, okay, coming back to this, another thing which anthropologists they did. This, there are two approaches to the study of matriarchal societies. One is the disintegration theory, and one is the resilient theory. The disintegration theory believed that when capitalism crept in, then these societies, they cannot sustain themselves anymore, and they will just, perish. They will just turn into patrilineal society. But the local scholars, these are you have 3-4 of them, who, if any of you have read that book by Harold Schneider and Kathleen Guff, 3-4 of them, 5 of them, they have propagated this concept. But it was the local scholars, Carla Powey, then Elizabeth Colson, then who work on their own communities in Africa, and it was Lila Dubé, though she did not work on her own communities, but she worked on the matrilineal society in Lakshadweep Island. She contradicted this. These are the people who started contradicting, and they come up with this theory that matrilineality or matrilineality have its own way to resist, capitalism. That is how it goes, the theory. Can I have a glass of water, please? Okay, coming to the traditional social organization of the Khasi. See, from where to start, when you come about this. When I'll just talk about 2 things when it comes to their traditional social structure or social organization. We'll talk about the descent, that is the, thank you. We'll talk about the continuation of the line, from mother to daughter, that is descent, we call it. And another one is about the inheritance of property from mother to daughter. So the Khasi, they practice both these, female descent. And each clan, because Khasi also, the basic unit in Khasi society is the clan. And each clan trace their root to a common ancestress, or it could be 2-3 sisters, ancestresses. Okay? But the name of the, yes, generally they'll say, the ancestor, but no, you cannot really find any real name of the ancestor. Personal name of the ancestor. But when it comes to the female ancestors, even their name could be, even if they were long ago, we don't know how long ago, their name could be traced out. So, see, since Khasi, they practice this matrilineality, the line passing from the female, suppose what will happen if a male marry a woman who is from a patriarchal society? Because we live in close proximity with the other people who are patriarchal. So in our society, they have a system where they incorporate the descendants of the woman who is not a Khasi, into the Khasi fold, into the Khasi group. Not only because they want to include them, but also because of certain rites and rituals pertaining to, which would amount to some kind of violation of the clan, So when a Khasi man marry a non-Khasi woman, the children will take, maybe they'll start a new clan name. This is a new system which was there from before. Right from the from time immemorial, we can say. And since Khasi they practice, now I'm coming to another point. I'll talk a bit about the economy. Khasi were slash and burn cultivators not long ago. These modern economy, of all these that come hardly 150 years ago into us, but they were just horticultural people. And for people who are horticultural or agrarian, land is very important. And land is usually owned by the community or by the clan. Land is usually owned by the community and the clan. Oh. Yes, I forgot. Anyway, I'll come to the point. You remind me just when I begin to start another section. One point I have forgotten to mention. Anyway, and this why? Because I'm coming to this point. I'm coming to this point. That's why I remember, or maybe I go to it now. When we talk of tradition, I mean, it is within quote. Tradition should be questioned. Tradition should not be taken for granted. You know, what is tradition? Because when we say of change now and then and future, you know, tradition continue. When we talk of change, change is a dynamic part of human society. But persistence is also part of tradition, part and parcel of change, part and parcel of tradition. So even when something changes, yet not everything changes. You know, something may change, many things may change, something may linger, many things may not linger. So now when we talk about this, because see, we do not have a written script. I mean, the Khasi do not have a written script. It was only when the missionaries came that we have a written script. Okay, so it was only in 1840s something that the first Khasi book which came into being is a Bible. You know, so and then immediately after that, the colonizers, they brought out a handbook on the Khasi. Not only on the Khasi, and many groups, same, I mean, Africa, anywhere, I mean, they brought out those handbooks. Okay, to what purpose, I mean, you can interpret. So, here, now, many of us, even myself, I used to read that book so much. You know, I used to read that book so much. I used to say, yeah, he knows my culture so much better than me, because I'm born a Christian. So, I don't know many of the rituals, many of the things, but now when I'm a bit more matured, I start questioning. I mean, what did he write? You know, especially when it comes to the male-female relationship and the relegation of the female to the background, because they come from that patriarchal mindset where I don't think they will even talk to a female. They'll definitely talk to a male, you know, and even the viewpoint that the person write the book, it is what we call the ethic perspective, the outsider's perspective. He cannot write at us. So it is in relation to this, when I talk about the clan land, you know, that I start questioning. Because they say that the youngest daughter among the Khasi, she is only a custodian of the property. She has no decision-making power. It is the maternal uncle who decides everything. So now I start thinking, was it really so? I mean, not only because I'm in favor of women, but think our society, I mean, you know, tribal society, simple society, they are more egalitarian society. They not only respect, you know, who, they don't, it's not, position is not always respected. Age sometimes matters so much. Age, the age of the person, whether it is a male or a female, age matters so much. So if they have a clan council, will it be only the maternal uncle who will decide? Do you think that the custodian will not have a thing to say? Or what about his mother? What about his, you know, and what about the people for whom they are deciding for? Because clan land is to be divided, you know, for whoever wants to use. So, from my perspective, I believe it may not be like that. He may regulate the discussion, or the matriarch or the grandmother may regulate the discussion, but they'll arrive at a consensus. That's why I like Heidi's writing, because you talk of the egalitarian consensus society. You know, so it clicked with my kind of belief, or my kind of what I feel. Okay, coming now to religion, I'll touch a bit because I'm trying to give the whole picture of the Khasi culture. When it comes to religion, we can say Khasi religion, you can divide into two aspects. You have the public domain and you have the private domain. The private domain is to be, it pertains only to family rituals. Rituals pertaining to birth, marriage, death, probably. And that is conducted by a person within the family. But of course, it is the duty of the youngest daughter, the one who inherits the property, to see that the ceremonies are done in proper, you know, in a proper way. Because when we talk of rituals, rituals are always accompanied by ceremony. When you tie the wedding knot, you give a feast, you know. So also when we tie a wedding knot, but for us it is not so important, the wedding, the death rituals are very important in the tradition. So when they deposit the bone, you have to give a feast. So all these has to be conducted by the person who inherits the property, the youngest daughter. And along, of course, with the maternal uncle, maybe he help her in the ritual, or they do it together somehow. I'm not very sure, because even if it is my own culture, sometimes I can't claim that it was like that, you know, it is like this. Because we don't know what really happened in the past. We cannot be so sure about tradition too. That's why I say tradition should be questioned. Coming to political organization. When it comes to political organization, I don't know from where this saying, it comes into the picture. Maybe it was there. They say that when the hen crows, I mean, I believe this is the saying we have. That's what I'm doubting my own culture. When the hen crows, the world is coming to an end. From when it started that saying, you know, when did it start that saying? I mean, I cannot blame everything to be Brit, you know, I cannot say that, oh, it's, but we don't know. Maybe the influence of the patriarchal culture from here and there, and probably because men's domain was, tribal society were highly not stable, you know, warfare, foods, all these go on. So probably it was the men who go to the warfare, and that's why women, they did not participate in the politics, you know. But this saying about women, you know, like if the hen crows, the world will come to an end, that saying I doubt. I mean, we have to question. Yeah, I have to question even my own tradition also. And especially, definitely when the British came, when they won land to start the headquarters, to build their office, they will definitely not negotiate with the female. Maybe that concept of maternal uncles, probably it came from there. They'll negotiate with the male only, you know. So there is a possibility. I'm not saying that is the truth. That is a possibility. And then look at another point. Oh, anyway, I think you don't need, no, I don't need to show. I think I'm clear enough. So there's another point which I want to say. The local term, I will not use the local term because it makes no sense to you. But there's a saying that, O king, the mother. You know, when they refer to king, it is the mother. You know, Usim Ukumi means king, the mother. So this thing, it makes me think that why did they refer to the ruler as such? Why did they refer to the ruler as such? Is it because he looked after the subjects just like the mother looked? That could be the very shallow interpretation. Or could we dig the roots deeper and maybe find out something different? I link this to the state priesthood, because along with the ruler, there's a state priesthood. Of course, not all political, anyway, how to say, because they break up into small principalities, small state like that. Not all they have, some they don't. So this state priesthood, she is usually the mother of the ruler, or the mother of the ruler, or if not the mother, the sister. So if it is the mother, she can direct her son. I mean, what I mean to say is that, you know, you have more saying over your son than over somebody else, right? I mean, I feel like that. Me being a mother also, I would feel I can have much more say on my children than any other person. So these three things make me think that maybe could it be possible that the Khasi women earlier were having even political, you know, you can say they sort of rule, or they sort of have a very important position in the administration, let's say, not politics per se, in the administration of the people. So this, I think, with these 2-3, I don't know, I have quite a number of points I think I've talked. This is what I meant by the tradition. I've just given you a bit of it. Then the Khasis, now I'll talk about change, how change comes into the picture. I don't know when, but that is how, as far as, you know, however much we can trace. I believe the Khasi have been in contact with the patriarchal, because we are surrounded by patriarchal culture only. Have been in contact with the patrilineal societies from quite a long time. What the dates given was that they were in contact with the Muslim in the 17th century, with the Hindus in the 15th century, and of course with the whites in the 19th century. Because, you know, so these, and it was only with colonization that more Hindus and more Muslim came. Because before that, they would just come as traders. They would, they would just do trading and all with each other. The others would not like to come and stay in our place. But with colonization, because they are ahead of we people, they have some education, they were brought in as, you don't have the concept of babus, clerk, clerical job and whatnot they do. So they stay on in our place, and I felt that not only but of course definitely, compared to the Hindu and Muslim, I felt that organized Christianization will have much more effect than unorganized Islam or unorganized Hinduism. Okay, I mean that is my personal view. So with being squashed in by or you can say by the patriarchal societies, do you think that, people can remain, unaffected by it? That's why I say the juxtaposition of the people with the patriarchal culture, it makes the people question their value, question their own culture. Because the other people, they will look down, they talk, I mean, they couldn't understand what you're talking about. If you say, I'm taking the clan name from the mother, they don't understand, why you do it. They don't understand sometimes why I have 2-3 name in my family. 2-3 name in my family, what I meant? Because we cannot have one common title. Because my husband will not take my title. He will carry on his own clan name. I will carry my own clan name. If we have another relative, they'll carry on with their own clan name. That's it. So this is so they sort of look down, and maybe this also influence our people themselves, both male and female, I should say. I shouldn't only blame that it influenced the male. I should even influence the female otherwise, to think otherwise. That is one of the reasons, but of course, with colonization come education, modernization, all these job opportunities, whatnot, that brings in change to the way of life of the people. From the subsistence economy, it started changing now. You have urban areas, urban center, urbanization, whatnot, it's set in. So all these factors together, they play, and they bring in the change into the people's lives. The first thing that was questioned when the Khasis, they first convert, the initial converts, they were deprived of property. The youngest daughter who gets converted, she was deprived of property. And they challenge, you cannot do. How can you inherit property when you will not perform the death rituals? When you will not perform the ceremonies and all. So, but the British, of course, they pass an act which, makes everything okay. So, female inheritance was accepted. No, they passed an act in 1850 by Lord Dalhousie. Okay? So, yeah, that is regarding inheritance. Again, now they start questioning about what? They start questioning about this taking the name from the mother. And of course, both taking the name from the mother, the matronymic, and the matrimony. The people from our own people, I mean the male, they start questioning. In 1960s, there was a person, I met him, I interviewed him, and he bring in all these anthropological, he must have read those anthropologist theory, and he gave me all those theories. So I said, yes, but that theory was refuted long ago. That theory doesn't stand. He said, no, still, because he brought out a booklet, and he started propagating like that. That was in 60s. Again, 70, like that. Till the 80s, about 3-4 organizations like that come up to change the system. To change from matrilineal to patrilineal. But the government, of course, I mean, hardly you have female, only one symbolic representative. But still then they did not change, They bring out an act, they call it the self-acquired property. Self-acquired property, you can do anything you want with it. You can will, you can give to anybody. But ancestral property should go according to tradition. So it does not matter, because it can be your self-acquired property in my generation, in my daughter's generation, it'll be ancestral. So it's good enough. I mean, it's protected. It's protected. Then again, about regarding this lineage thing, this taking the name from the mother or the father. Again in 2005, the local government of Meghalaya, passed a bill, that Khasi lineage bill they call it, protecting Khasi lineage, the line, from the clan you have the lineage, okay? So Khasi lineage bill, 2005, protecting the rights of the woman. No, I mean like not protecting tradition, I should say. Protecting tradition. That, you know, because there was a question of, I think for me, it seems like controlling the sexuality of the female. Because female should not marry outside the community. They say when female marry outside the community, then let them not give their clan name to the children. That was the main bone of contention. Okay? That for the women who marry outside their exogamous, I mean outside their own community. So they passed that bill that it does not matter whether you marry a Khasi, you marry a non-Khasi, you marry a whatever, but if the mother is a Khasi, the child will be a Khasi. You know, because see in India we have these different laws and you know, we are exempted from income tax, you gain some, so many other benefits you get. So that's why sometimes, you know, people they try to, there's a lot of political twists, politico-economic twist to it. Okay, it's not just plain and simple, we want patrilineality or anything like that. So anyway, and that is in 2005. But last year, very unfortunate, right, because in India, see, if you are scheduled tribe, you do not pay income tax. If you are scheduled tribe, you get reservation, certain reservation in jobs, in education, whatnot. So this makes, sometimes it's played negatively by the other people. So last year the Supreme Court, what it passed a judgment that when, you know, a tribal marry a non-tribal, when a tribal woman marry a non-tribal man, they cannot retain their tribal status. But that is not applicable to us. I told my friend, he's a lawyer in the Supreme Court, he said, okay, Val, I'll get you the thing and we'll do it, we'll file a petition. So I say, okay, you first get me the papers, let me screen out the things properly, then we can do it without seeing what really, you know, because it just come in the paper. So that is, I don't know what will happen if that is the case. I mean, we need to do something about that. Otherwise, because that is not applicable in matrilineal society, at least. You know, if it is patrilineal, it's applicable, but not in the matrilineal society. Okay, that is the some of the change that has come up. And then, see, because we have changed, but unlike the other tribes, neighboring tribes, Khasi still they retain, some of them they retain the traditional religion. But roughly 65% have become Christian. So with Christianity, everything, you know, is you know, you have a new way of life, a new outlook. I will not say a way, but the outlook, the way you look at things, you look at it differently. Definitely, with the changed religion, you will not do the rituals, whatnot. So even the maternal uncle, this youngest daughter, the role it diminished to a great extent. And that you remember that thing I see when a Khasi man married a non-Khasi woman, he cannot give his name in the tradition because it will create problem in rituals and anything. But with Christianity, that is possible. They can easily take the clan name. It doesn't really matter because you're buried separately, you're not put together your bones. You know? Christian, we have individual graves. But in the tradition, all the clan members, the bones will be deposited in the cromlech, in the clan aswari. Okay, so we still have such stones till now, and some they still practice that because a Khasi belong to the clan in life as well as in death. You cannot be parted from your clan. Even after your death, they'll put your bones together. So these are, okay, you know Christianity, so they will not let women, you know, women will take active part, but they will not give you the official role. You get what I mean? Many women were qualified to be pastors or to be reverend, but they were not given pastorates. You know? Many women, they do preach in their women organization, but they will not allow in the main gathering of male and female. You know, that's not they will not allow, but it's sort of tradition. It's sort of tradition that female do not preach. Even that become tradition, you see. So it is only in one church that I've seen, I used to attend that church sometimes, that women preside. But these are highly educated women. You know, because so you have many dimensions, many twists to the thing. It's not simple that you change, you become like this, and you become like that. There are many factors, they interact together. So, yes, but I did my survey, you know, in 1990s, I mean mid-90s like that. I did my survey. I asked the people I see how many they take the clan name of the mother, how many they take the clan name of the father. It's very interesting that still majority, they take the clan name of the mother. But still, a very minor part, roughly 10 to 15, no, I think 10, I'm trying to find the statistics. 10% they take the father's name. Okay, even if they take it only for a generation, because it's very difficult to take for more than one generation. I mean, I'll explain that to you later. And some they take both, the father and the mother, 13%. So here you see you have a deviation from the traditional norm. And this is giving way, it's giving way, you know, it's giving way, it's cracking up. I mean 70%, okay, takes from the mother, 10% from the father, and 13% from both, the father and the mother. And when I ask them, do you feel that there's something wrong with our way of taking the name from the mother? When I ask them that, I mean, I asked both husband and wife, not only husband, I interviewed both, you know, separately. Yeah, more or less, I mean, the same kind of percentage, they say we have no problem. The female, I mean, yes, I have to read properly my statistics. 13% the wife, they say, no, it is more the male who say that, yes, there's a problem, you know. They're saying, yes, we don't like, I mean, something, it's not okay or something like that. So, even if it is a small percentage, but that is significant. Because see, we shouldn't look at statistics in terms of numbers only. You know, you say, oh, 10, because it is only 10%, it's not important. No, it's very significant. Because this is a beginning of something, you know, that will maybe swam up the matrilineality of the Khasi later. So, okay, I asked about that, and I even asked about the inheritance pattern. But when it comes to the inheritance pattern, they say, yes, I mean, it's okay, the present inheritance pattern, but there should be equal distribution of property. It will be better if we have equal distribution of property. But how can you have, you know, it's very easy to say theoretically, but practically operationalization of the idea, it's very difficult. If you have one house, will you chop it and divide your children, you know? That's why I say for the halves, it's okay, they can divide. But for the have-not, and not only for the have and the have-not, how many people really have something to give also? That is also another point. And on top of that, Khasi are the people with the highest fertility rate in India, and even in the world also, I think it is the highest fertility rate. The average family size is 6, and maximum number of children that have been recorded, I mean, there's paper written by from this side of the world only, that is 16 she has recorded, maximum number of children. So, but still then, I should say, I mean, I'll come to my conclusion that whatever be the case, I should say that Khasi society has been resilient enough. It has been resilient enough because nearly 200 years after the coming of Christianity and colonization, and before that also they have been in contact with the other patriarchal culture, but still then Khasi, that's why I prefer to use the term matrilineality than to use the term matrilineal, also in line Matriarchy also not really, So matrilineality of the Khasi, it's still persisting, and I hope it persists in a long time to come. Thank you.